Bi'ur Mishnah Tet, explanation from Mishnah Tet. Amar Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel, said Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel, and we all know, if halacha is like Beit Shammai or Beit Hillel, we usually go like whom? Beit Hillel. So we're going to see something very strange over here. Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel said, Nohagim hayu Beit Abba. It says it was the custom. This is your question, Aryeh.
Oh.
You had a question, what happens if it's 2 days before? Yeah? Nohagim hayu Beit Abba. It was the custom of my father's house, the house of Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel, Shayu notnim klei lavan, that when they would give white garments to the goy, to the non-Jew, to wash them, bgadim levanim shekvisatam kasha, that takes a long time to wash them, yoter mibgadim tzevinim, it might take 2 or 3 days time, so they wouldn't give it even on Friday morning. If in other words, it has to be able to be done the job before Shabbos comes in. So if it takes 3 days, they would give it on a Thursday. Lechobesh nachrish 3 yamim kodem leShabbat. They will give it 3 days before Shabbat even. Why? Shayu machmirim, they were stringent. Al atzmam kebeit Shammai. It says if the work takes sometimes 2 or 3 days, you're not allowed to give to the guy at the work 2 or 3 days beforehand.
I was thinking that they need it for Shabbos. They need to wear it for Shabbos. That they give it 3 days before. It's 3 days.
No, it's because you're not allowed to give it to him, according to Beit Shammai.
Even though go by Beit Shammai.
No, they don't go. They said machmirim al atzmam. They say, well, it costs us money to go like Beit Shammai. We can go like Beit Shammai over here. I mean, it's not a sin to do what Beit Shammai says. Beram, but ha'alacha ki Beit Hillel. It's not like they didn't know the law is like Beit Hillel that they're allowed to. They prefer to do it 3 days before. It says, if we can keep also Beit Shammai, why not keep also Beit Shammai? שאפילו כלי לבן מותר ליתן לכובש נוכרי בערב שבת קודם שקיעת החמה. That even כלי לבן you allowed to give to כובש נוכרי ערב שבת before שקיעת החמה, before the sunset. Just, I have to mention this because some people can make a mistake. Even today that we go to Beit Hillel, you're not allowed to go to a non-Jew and tells him, here's my clothing, go wash it for me, this is Friday, right? And tell him, and you should know, I need it, I have a wedding.
Shabbos morning,
Motzei Shabbos. I need it 2 minutes after Shabbos comes out because I have a wedding. I'm going to come to Yosef. Even today, even according to Beit Hillel, it might be problematic, but we're not going to deal with it right now. You say, so, but just don't think that you're allowed to do it.
5 minutes before Shabbos.
That's right. If you don't tell him anything, and he can do it whenever he wants, then you're allowed to do it.
This way, like you tell him, I needed to
work
on Shabbos.
So that's right. In this way, you say, so even according to Beit Hillel, that will not be permitted even today. So don't make a mistake and say, oh yeah, I'm allowed to do such a thing. You're not allowed to do such a thing.
Even if he's a contractor that guy.
We'll discuss contractor in another time. That's another. But if he's your worker. Okay.
Okay, good.
It's going to become very complicated. Okay. Contractor, workers, it's going to become very complicated the more we'll do with it. Veshavim elu ve'elu, but they're both equal. Now we're going to see something strange about Beit Shammai. All of a sudden Aryeh is going to jump and the guy says, hey, Beit Shammai works like Beit Hillel. I know Aryeh. And we're going to have to explain how come Beit Shammai is like Beit Hillel. Veshavim elu ve'elu, Beit Shammai or Beit Hillel agree on which case שטוענים קורות הבד ועיגולי הגת, that you're allowed to load the beams of the oil and the stones of the wine. It says, of the winemaker. It says, what do you mean? How did you used to make oil in the old times? They used to take grapes and used to take olives, and there used to be a big beam, like huge, weighs hundreds of pounds, like this. It used to be under pressure, and you used to lift it up. You used to put all the olives underneath it, and it will press by itself. Just the gravity. It was so heavy, and you will load it.
Also, it had like another.
That's right. So, and then you will let it go, and it will the entire time 2 days.
Oh, and you leave it there.
And you leave it there. Yeah. So Beit Shammai over here says you're allowed to do that.
Before Shabbos.
Before Shabbos. Is he allowed to do it?
No.
No, he's not allowed to do it.
Of course not.
I told you. On the same thing they do it with the grapes. Is he allowed to do it, Aryeh?
No.
No, they're not allowed to do it.
According to what
What we're not allowed to do it. And over here, Beit Shammai says you're allowed to do that. So now we have to understand. Beit Shammai, where's your logic? שנותנים בערב שבת את הקורות על הזיתים בבית הבד, that Friday you put the beams on the olives, לאחר שטחנו את הזיתים. This is after you already squashed, you grinded all the זיתים and you're taking all the oil out of them. כדי שיזוב מהם השמן בשבת. So that the oil will come out of them on Shabbat. וכן נותנים את הקורות העגולות על הענבים בגת. And you also can load the big stones on the grapes in the winemaker. לאחר דריכתם ברגל, after you press on them with your feet. כדי שיצא מהם כל ינם בשבת. After all the wine is going to come out from them on Shabbat. Notice when Beit Shammai allows it. Only after tchina and only after drisa. If there was no tchina and no drisa, Beit Shammai says not. But after you grinded it or after you squashed the grapes, only then is it. שהואיל וטחנו תחילה את הזיתים, because you grinded the olives already, ודרכו את הענבים ברגל, and you also squashed the grapes, והמשקה התחיל כבר לצאת מערב שבת, and the drink already started to go out from before Shabbat, אף בית שמאי מודים שמותר. In such a case, even Beit Shammai says you are allowed to. Why? שאפילו עושים כן בשבת, it says even if you... not because שיוצא. Because what did the Torah disallow you is to take grapes before it was before you took the juice out. Over here you already took the wine out of the grape. It was already done.
The grinding.
The grinding already took...
The wine is still in there.
No, it's already done.
Not
because the process started.
No?
No, not because the process started.
The oil come out.
Because the melacha is the first melacha. What's the melacha?
Oh, that's the second melacha.
It's the second melacha is only the asur from what? From the rabbis. It's only from the rabbis. And he says, if it's only asur from the rabbis, I cannot disallow you before Shabbat. On Shabbat, I will disallow you. But before Shabbat, exera, in other words, I can make a decree on something that you're obligated a death penalty or you're obligated a sin offering. Over here, even if you do it on Shabbat, because it's the second process, you're not obligated a death penalty and a sin offering, therefore I allow you. Okay? אין חייבים על כך חטאת. You're not obligated at the sin offering.
המשקה יוצא ממילא.
ואין בזה אלא איסור מדברי סופרים. It's only from the rabbis because it's the second time. It's the second grinding that's the problem. הילקח לא גזרו על טעינת הקורת ועיגולים בערב שבת. So they cannot, in other words, I can make a decree on something that you're obligated from the Torah. I can tell you not to do something on Friday if you're going to come to obligate from the Torah. Here, there's no obligation from the Torah, so I cannot. So I can make another decree over here. If you will take grapes and put it underneath, then I will tell you don't do that. But if you're taking grapes, you're not taking the grapes, you're taking all on the skins, to get the extra juice out of it. That's not the melacha from the Torah. It's only the rabbi that says you're not allowed to do that. Or the same thing with the olive. It's only when you put the entire olive and you squash it. Over here, the olive the oil already been taken out. This is the second batch. Second batch is not from the Torah. Therefore, I will allow you to do it even from Erev Shabbat.